What's up, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Carnage88UK and welcome back to another art video. So today I am painting Mavis Vermillion from Fairy Tail, the first guild leader. So first we'll start with the art. So the art was pretty much an acrylic painting. I do what I do. I feel like the hair went a bit bright, but I did the best I could, and I think it turned out pretty well, to be honest. So, hopefully you like it. If you do, then leave a like and such. But I wanted to talk more about the character as well, Mavis herself. So, I feel that Mavis is actually quite an important character to the story, even though she only has mentions from early on and bit parts, but she does get a little bit of her own story as well, spoiler alert there. But I feel she's actually an important character, the reason being that it adds a history to it, which is not always a necessity. However, with like long running shows like this one, it's actually like really helpful. It adds a history to the story which kind of gives it depth. So I really like that about her. I feel like she's like quite an adorable character as well, which is really good. She's quite amusing, and it's kind of like, this is gonna be nerdy and I don't really watch it that often, but take Lord of the Rings for example. Lord of the Rings had its map, which gave it depth, it gave the world life, and Mavis is kind of Fairy Tail's map to its history. You know, like, they give the reasons of why she created Fairy Tail, the guild. So yeah, I feel like she's actually a really important character on that sense. Like, if you took her out, there wouldn't be as much depth. But back to the art, like, this piece of work was, I've been watching it myself, so I felt like I, wanted to do it, which is the best way to do it, really. The colours kind of were deeper than I wanted. I was trying to go for brighter colours, but no matter what I tried on my palette, it just kept coming out dark. It can happen, and all you got to do is work with it, really. I feel like turned out like quite nice considering that fact, and I managed to use obviously my attachments of white and such to brighten it up a bit. And I mean, yellow itself is quite a bright colour anyway, being that obviously a lot of the page is her hair, which is obviously a bright blonde. It's supposed to be brighter than that though, it's supposed to shine, I guess. So I utilised my whites to try and add that back in. It's hard to judge my own art, being that I did it, and personally, like, it's quite, like, it never seems right. Like, no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to be what you were going for, what you had in your head. And although it can get close, it's never quite on the mark, and you can touch up for years trying to fix that. But considering that fact, I still think I did pretty well on it. As you can tell by my pieces, I don't really focus on the background that much. Just add some colour for the sake of filling the page. I like to keep the attention on the foreground. I don't know, it's just the way I do things. Like, the background's just not important for me. And I think eventually, like, I might start, like, trying to add detailed backgrounds and such. Just at the moment, I just want to focus on the foregrounds, practicing those bits. Another tough bit for me is the lines. Like, I don't know if you notice in the videos, being that they're probably moving too quick, but I've actually got quite a shaky hand, so the lines end up quite wobbly, and the only solution I can give to that is to take your time. really take your time and focus on what your hand's doing, I guess. Like, try and keep it, like, not tense, but, like, to be honest, you gotta kind of try and loosen up and relax a bit. Like, even if you just, before you actually start painting, just do something to relax. Watch a video, lay down, whatever it is. Still doesn't affect me. Like, as I said, I'm shaky in general, so it's just, I mean, considering I am shaky, like, artist is probably like a bad choice, but I just love to paint either way, and it's kind of a catch-22 in a sense, because to relax I paint, but to paint I need to relax. So I need to do the results to get the result. Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22 really. As you've noticed, I've started trying to do more like bits of shading and stuff. I'm terrible at painting shadings. I can sketch it quite nicely because it's just about pressure on the paper, but with painting it's all about the color. So I've started with the white. White is quite a good one to shade since it's just grey. And if you haven't noticed, I do use white even though the paper itself is white to add, it's to even out the lines, I guess, because as I said, I'm shaky anyway, so if I use the white to try and even out like where I've gone a bit wobbly, it tends to work pretty well, to be honest, and straighten it out. So you can always use that, try that really, and it adds to the page, like, it gives it that kind of more full feeling, whereas like if you've left bits of white on the page, you've got like obviously the grade of the paper and such, it's going to show, and it's just going to show as a blank spot, and to me it feels like a blank spot, whereas if it's completely painted it feels complete, even if I'm just painting bits in white. But on that, as I said, hopefully you enjoyed it, and as much as I enjoyed doing it, which was a lot. And don't forget to check out the show, because it is really good actually. I really enjoyed it. And I will see you all next week. I've got a really good idea for next week's painting actually, depending on, I have requests as well, so I'm going to go through, I got to decide if I'm going to do my idea or the request. But they're all coming, and hopefully you are sticking around for them all, and hopefully you enjoy. And I will see you all next week. I hope you have a wonderful week, wonderful day, wonderful couple of seconds. I don't mind, just be wonderful. See you all later. Bye bye.